Dear listeners, I hope you had a joyful summer, full of adventures. It is September. Happy new academic year for all those who started in this month. Let's start our episode with News Mini section. This is Dr. Ram Kavashkar giving you the news for episode 42 September 2017. August was a quiet month. Of course, not considering the change in the highest management level of Uber. In other levels, Uber engineers showed off their visualization tool for autonomous driving, and this happens after that Waymo published a similar platform just 1 week before Uber. The key component is using the data collected in million miles of test drive. In fact, all the companies working on AI for their driverless cars are using the same technique. Samsung is joining the race of automakers for driverless cars. The company won't manufacture the vehicle but will join other car manufacturers providing the software for autonomous driving. This happened after Samsung got permission to test drive its cars on the state roads of California. The company had a chance to test its platform and software in South Korea in May. At the moment, Samsung is using modified vehicles from Hyundai. They are equipped with Samsung's hardware, including sensors and artificial intelligence computer modules. With so many car manufacturers and companies like Google, Apple, Baidu, Nvidia and Uber, there are still many that don't trust the driverless cars or just simply don't want to try them. That is what the survey shows. The Gartner Consumer Trends in Automotive Survey concludes that 55% of the people would not ride in a fully autonomous car. About 1,500 people in the United States and Germany from April through May were questioned in the survey. The big issue is that people are afraid of being in vehicles where they cannot exercise some control, said Gartner Research Director Mike Ramsey in an interview with CNBC. According to Ramsey, the main concern of the consumers who hesitate to ride in self-driving are two things. They worry the cars might become confused in an unexpected situation and are worried about systems failures that could endanger them. However, maybe the tasty test will change the opinions of Americans. From September, Dominos and Ford are starting a new test together. They call it Tasty Test. During this period, a single driverless car from Ford Fusion will make deliveries of pizza in Ann Arbor, Michigan. The car is sported with a touchscreen display for customers to retrieve their order. A driver is sitting inside just in case something happens. Also, he will help researchers to find out how people were handling the situation. Of course, Domino's is not sure if customers are willing to get out in the rain and collect their pizza from the car. Finally, there is an ethical guideline for driverless cars. Last month, the Federal Transport Minister of Germany, Alexander Dobrindt, presented a report on automated driving to Cabinet. The report is the work of an ethics commission on automated driving, an expert panel of scientists and legal experts. The report lists 20 guidelines from the industries which will get involved in autonomous driving. These guidelines have been adopted by the cabinet and made Germany the first country to do so. And since the technology still is developing, the guidelines are going to be revised in 2 years. Thank you for listening. We have a book review as usual for this month. Go ahead, Haluk. We are all ears.
This is the book review section for the present episode of ITSPodcast, reviewed by Dr. Haluk Eren, Firat University, Elazığ, Turkey. The book title is Towards Sustainable Road Transport and consists of 386 pages, written by Ronald Dell, Patrick Moseley and David Rand, and produced by Academic Press in 2014. The book claims that existing road transport with the internal combustion engine technology is unsustainable for some reasons, such as urban congestion, pollution, petroleum depletion, and greenhouse gas emissions. Measures are being taken to cope with this serious threat, but they are still inadequate. The book discusses the evolution of vehicle designs and propulsion technologies, emphasizing on hybrid or battery electric traction, hydrogen and fuel cells, new forms of energy to substitute for petroleum, the political and socio-economic drivers for change in road transport, and the infrastructure requirements. The book consists of 9 chapters. Chapter 1 outlines the emergence of the present situation over the course of the 20th century and provides descriptions of the different types of vehicle and motive power sources. Chapter 2 mentions about changing road transport with new vehicle and engine technology, driven by a political and socio-economic motivation. It also comprises challenges for petroleum production and consumption, atmospheric pollution, fuel and vehicle efficiencies, climate change, electricity, and hydrogen as energy carriers. Chapter 3 elaborates the alternatives to petrol and diesel fuels for the propulsion of conventional road vehicles, such as liquid petroleum gas, natural gas, ethanol, biodiesel, and methanol. Chapter 4 outlines the mode of construction and operation of conventional road vehicles with the early days of the motor industry, developments in body design, assembly, exhaust systems, emissions, and all the key components and accessories making the modern automobile reliable, comfortable, and affordable. Chapter 5 mentions about progressive electrification of road vehicles. It includes hybrid electric vehicles with batteries, solar cars, benchmarks of progress towards cleaner and more efficient vehicles and related road transport. Chapter 6 deals with generation and distribution of electricity, its availability in selected countries, recharging electric vehicles and the regulation of electricity markets, supporting statistics of electricity production and its significance for greenhouse gas emissions. Chapter 7 reviews various battery chemistries, ultra batteries, and supercapacitors for road vehicles. It also discusses battery characteristics in hybrid and electric vehicles and future prospects for better batteries. Chapter 8 discusses hydrogen and fuel cell vehicles, hydrogen distribution and storage, and hydrogen-fueled road transport. Chapter 9 foresees future development of road transport, including choice of road, vehicle and fuel technology, global climate change, and role of governments. The book's expert author team ensures that towards sustainable road transport will provide readers with a clear understanding of the ongoing progress in this field and the challenges to be faced.
Thank you, Haluk. Dear listeners, thank you for being with us. Just a short reminder before you pause the podcast. We will be more than happy to have you as volunteers in our group in any field that you might contribute. Please check out our website and social media. Send me a note if you're interested. Subscribe, share, comment, and suggest. This podcast is sponsored by IEEE Intelligent Transportation Systems Society. This was Dr. Mariam Kavishkar from IEEE ITS Society. Thank you for being part of ITS.